I just wrapped up a 3-day long showing and conversion boot camp for Selling Silicon Valley, and I couldn't be more excited. It was an awesome 3 days. Everyone came away with tons of executable action items for them to go crush it and convert at the highest level possible. So I'm super excited. At the end of the conversion boot camp, one of my agents raised his hand, and I could see there was that little bit of reservation in his eyes, and so I knew the wheels were turning. So I had to dive in. I had to dissect where his reservations were. And so as I started to kind of go through with him, I said, listen, I could sense some reservations. I can see the gears turning. And well, some of what you just taught, I just don't want to come off as too pushy. Oh, okay. Well, let's dive into that a little bit more. Why would you feel like it's too pushy? Well, it's just that I've had some of my clients tell me that the reason they left their last agent was because their last agent was too pushy. Gotcha. Now I understood. You see, the client at the beginning of the relationship let the agent know that their previous agent was too pushy, and in turn instilled fear in the agent, in the current agent, my agent, that he didn't want to be like the other agents. However, the first thing I asked my team member was like, hey bud, listen, let me ask you something. Are you going to allow your fear of one client being put off by your approach to keep you away from helping 10? Oh, well, no, I'm definitely not. Gotcha. So that's the first question I have for all of you. For you watching, are you allowing your fear of putting one person off keep you from helping 100? This is applicable in so many different facets of life, not just sales. Almost every facet of life. Is your fear of rejection, is your fear of putting someone off keeping you from helping the masses? That's number one. Number two, even more rudimentary than that, is the actual root cause why the client felt like their initial agent was being pushy. You see, the client wants to buy a house. So helping them buy a house isn't pushy. It is the approach. And listen, I would argue, in fact, I know, without question, the reason the first agent or the other agents that helped this buyer prior didn't listen. They were pushing their agenda, not listening to the client and not helping them. So, of course, my agents are trained better than that. He knows better than that. And so we walked through a little exercise and invite you to do the same. When a client says they don't like something, instead of saying, oh, okay, all right, well, we'll wait for the next one. You'll be waiting a long time. The approach, the tonality, the way in which you engage with the client is everything. And so it's like, okay, awesome. Well, hey, talk to me. What is it exactly about this home that doesn't make it a fit? Go on and on and on. Try and figure everything out. Try and dissect it. And then at that point, think back and see, okay, well, is there any house that I'm aware of right now that checks all their boxes and kind of stays away from some of the stuff, the feedback, the stuff they didn't like in this house? And that's how you sell real estate. You figure out what they don't want. Obviously, you figure out what they want. All of us know what the client wants, but what about what they don't want? And that's why you show houses. Because the more homes you show somebody, the more you figure out about what they don't want. Actually, it's a process of elimination. case you haven't figured it out. It's not, oh yeah, I like this. It's like, oh no, I don't like that, I don't like that, I don't like that, I don't like this. But you only figure that out by showing them more houses. So as you continue to go along in your client experience, the client could feel like you're being pushy if you continually show them the wrong house. If their home search isn't improving, if they are not feeling like, oh, the houses that I'm being shown are getting better, they're just going to write you off as pushy. Oh, well, the agent tried to get me to write on a house that I didn't want to. Yeah, that's fucking pushy. That's called being a bad salesperson. Good salespeople, they listen. And just because you are encouraging them to buy something that they literally told you they want to buy, that's not pushy. One last piece of advice for everyone who's watching today. You see, when a client comes into our ecosystem, SSV, what we tell our client is, we don't want you writing an offer unless you absolutely love the house, but then if you love it, we're going to do everything that you want to get it. We mean that. We're not just saying it. And that's the difference between good salespeople and bad salespeople. And I got news for you. The client knows if you're good or if you're bad. They can sense it. They've got spidey senses too. It's not just Spider-Man. The client knows. The client knows if you care. They know if you care by the way you dress. They know that you care by the way you talk. They know that you care by the way you act around them. But most importantly, they know that you care because you listen to them. This is Danny Gould, everyone. Selling Silicon Valley. Stay legendary, everybody.